Today I am celebrating World Maritime Day. Now, this is perhaps at first glance another unusual thing for me to celebrate. I'm not a sailor. I've never had any inclination to join the Navy. I am quite drawn to the idea of sailing, and I've got respect for all of those people who have ever learnt to do such a thing. Sailing has expanded the boundaries of what it is to be human. From the earliest times that we were taking canoes offshore to do some fishing in those hotter climates in which we once inhabited, sailing has become the capacity to be able to travel beyond the horizon. Since developing full-on maritime skills where we have been able to circumnavigate the earth, where we have been able to realize that there were lands far beyond those that we knew at home. We have become, in becoming this seafaring civilization, well, it sowed the seeds to the concepts of ourselves in this universe that we are still refining today. It was the very astute observation of the stars above, of the movement of the planets, that enabled us at first to be able to navigate across open waters, to be able to identify where we were and where we were going to over long distances, sometimes caught in the dark, in storms, on wild seas. It's really phenomenal to think that we now just take it for granted that coordinates can be plugged in and a ship can set off in a particular direction, more or less safe in the knowledge that it will arrive at its destination. Maritime has enabled us to be able to operate as a global civilization, something which is not entirely a good for the world. It has brought along many complications which we are still working through to this day. So I'm not a complete advocate for globalism, but it has enabled us to share resources and wealth across borders far beyond our local dominion. We've ended up being able to trade with people on distant continents in items that were transformative to the cultures in which they arrived. You know, the trade that went on between the English and the Chinese along the Silk Road really was the joining of two distinct civilizations in a mutual respect for the products that their cultures had managed to invent, develop, cultivate, and then share. This aspect of trade that has brought distinct universes together has all been enabled through the process of becoming seafarers and learning how to navigate the waves. Now, for those people who think that we may still be living on a flat earth, I will concur that my experience of the earth has been utterly flat. Phenomenologically speaking, to my body, it seems as though there's a flat horizon over there, but for thousands of years we have known that this earth is a ball amongst other spinning balls spinning through space. And this was obviously significantly confirmed to us upon the first ship's ability to fully circumnavigate the earth. It's difficult to understand how people could still perceive this to be a flat earth, knowing that sailors had taken off in one direction and kept going until they arrived back there. So for all the things that this period of maritime prowess has afforded us, I think it's really worth honouring the lives of so many men lost at sea. Countless sailors that have gone to the watery depths in the process of searching for other lands, for exploring, for a willingness to work, to support themselves or their families, to undertake adventures that showed no guarantee of arrival, of safe return. You know, we have seen so much human knowledge concentrated into the creation of ships and the whole enterprise that was associated with taking a ship to another country. The incredible carpentry and building skills that went into building all of these things, and all of the people that must have died in the course of failing. The tools that were developed, the navigational skills that were developed, the mathematics, the use of illustration in order to be able to communicate before photographs what it was that people were seeing when they visited these distant lands. The understanding of how to preserve foods in order to be able to travel enormous distances, things being exposed to water. What we've learnt about medicine through the illnesses that sailors suffered as they went through malnutrition in the course of making these enormous journeys. How to withstand incredible hurricanes and typhoons and all the storms that must have been endured by sailors over the many thousands of years with which we've been exploring the sea. You know, World Maritime Day, when I first looked down the lists of things that people are celebrating every day of the year, didn't exactly leap out at me as something worth venerating or honouring. And yet, just in the last 5 minutes of talking about this, I'm now left stunned that I would have thought that there was not such an enormity of things to give thanks for and people to give thanks to, our ancestors, that have enabled so much through the development of maritime, of becoming seafarers and being able to travel across the seas. It's an incredible thing that it's brought to this world. It's brought its problems too. I like to think that it's a net benefit. But regardless as to whether or not we can evaluate it as having been a positive or a negative thing, one cannot escape the sacrifices that were made along the way, long before there was any inference as to the costs that may be incurred. Long before any of that was visible, people made enormous sacrifices in order to be able to bring us the civilization of which we are now beneficiaries. So this is giving a vote of thanks and a moment of silence to give thanks for World Maritime Day.